2014, and we're looking at the new culvert guard and the approach to the Forestvale culvert. We're seeing a small runoff of melting snow this morning. And the culvert guard, as you can see, is really quite similar, if not identical, to the one up at Four Seasons Drive, which, as long as you've just got water runoff, then it'll handle it just fine. But when you get a heavy rain with leaves and sticks coming down, then it's going to have the same effect as it did up at Four Seasons, where it's going to plug up the culvert guard, which stops the drainage entirely, or reduces it, so we get flooding once again. This is March 28th, 2014, and we're just getting snow melting and running off down the creek. And there's certainly lots of water flow. There's really obviously no blockage, no flooding. And it's just quite a manageable water flow going down to the Four Seasons culvert. This is still March 28th, about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We're now at the Forestvale culvert with the new culvert guard, and we're seeing the water flow coming off. And of course, it's just coming off with melting snow in this huge valleys. And there's no accumulation of either debris or soil or logs, because it's just melting snow, and it's coming down a hardened creek bed, so it isn't eroding anything on the way down. And there really isn't very much coming out of the storm sewers, because everything on the street there's still small amounts of snow on the boulevard, but really very small. And so anything coming out of the storm sewers isn't really adding to it. It's just really what's being melting and coming down through the valleys. Well, this is April the 8th, 2014. We had a moderate rain overnight. We're looking now at the culvert on Four Seasons Drive, and it is obviously brought leaves to the top of the culvert guard, and the water is running at a fairly high level. So certainly expect that there's lots of debris has filled up this this entry to the culvert guard, and we're going to get heavier rains further on in April, so we're right back to flood conditions again for sure. This is mid-April 2014. We had some showers a week ago, and the water it brought all the leaves down, of course, wasn't able to get away, and it just keeps piling up leaves on the inlet grate, raises the water level. In fact, this just at the side of the creek bank shows the mud level was really up to this level, so it totally filled this this entry to the culvert at Four Seasons Drive. So just looking at the depth of the leaf pack at the front of the culvert guard, it's well over a foot thick over top of the culvert, over top of the entry guard. And so water just isn't going to go through there quickly. We honestly haven't had any significant rainfall in April this year, or even anything in the whole of 2014. So if we'd had any significant rainfall, then of course it would have had substantial flooding of the whole area. This is mid-April 2014. We're at the Forestvale Culvert. We have a new culvert guard, and we see that even though we've only had a couple of light showers here in April, that already the sediment is filling up. And of course the leaves are stuck onto the front of these vertical bars. So you can see how high the water level has been raised, even with this small amount of rainfall. When Terry Spearn got stuck in the mini culvert back at Four Seasons Drive, he had vertical bars, and they were about 10 inches apart. And it's just that the soil level came right up to raising it up close to the top, and so he got his foot trapped in there. But now you see what we've got here is we've got the vertical bars that are spaced specifically for the width of a foot, and so not only are you going to get trapped vertically, but you have no chance of your feet ever moving sideways. This is just, they've perfected this to be an absolutely perfect trap. It's really just the idea that if you have your foot in there and it's on top of the soil, all of this build-up of soil and debris, and you get your foot up to the top end, you've got no way out at all. You can't move your foot sideways. Whereas up at the old mini culvert, at least the spaces between the bars was more than double what it is here. This is absolutely just a perfect trap for anybody who gets caught there, and they can get caught, of course, several ways of elevation on the way up to the top. So this is April 29th, 2014, and we've just had a fair decent rainfall this afternoon. So the water level is right up to the top of this culvert entry. It's brought in all kinds of debris and branches and leaves, and flooding the surrounding area again. So here at the Forestvale culvert, it's easy to see the water level has brought the leaves. The water level has brought the leaves right up to the top of this culvert guard, fully covering all of the fronts and sides. And obviously the mud level has been right up to the water level, and mud level is right up to this point as well. And when the water level goes down, we'll see just how much sediment has been filled into this entry to the culvert. Pretty much the first significant rainfall we've had actually in 2014. This is May the 1st, 2014. We're looking at the valley, a very steep valley coming down from the Gloucester Drive storm sewer entrance. These walls are valley walls are probably 30, minimum 30-40 feet above the creek level, and you can just see how much of this creekway has eroded with the fast-moving water surges. And you can see how many trees adjacent to this creekway are washed down and are being washed out. When you have say a 5 millimeter an hour water rainfall, most of that will be absorbed right into the soil, and it will run off gradually over time. When you get larger rainfall, like 15 millimeters, 20 millimeters an hour rainfall, we get those probably 2 or 3 times a year. The first 5 millimeters an hour may be absorbed into the soil, and the other 10 to 15 millimeters an hour will be runoff. Now you add to that the entire 20 millimeters an hour that's coming down from the Kerns Road hill into the Gloucester Drive storm sewer, and that's going to come in just like a storm surge, and it's good. That's what's going to cause the erosion, because erosion is caused by 2 things. It's affected by 2 things. One of them is the quantity of the water, and the other one is the rate of water flow. And with this steep grade coming down Kerns Road that you can see on the street, well, that's matched by the steep grade that's coming down the ravine, and so the water velocity just gets to be really high. So you add all of that together, you get the high water, the rainfall, you get the storm surge of water coming in from the Gloucester Drive storm sewer into this soft soil. You just look at the soft soil, it's just being eroded out of here, and that's going downstream, and that's what's burying our culverts. And that's, in this case, we're upstream of Forestvale Culvert. That's what buried the Forestvale Culvert by 15 feet of sediment in that whole valley. So the high velocity and high quantity of water is causing substantial erosion, and there's no question that's you just watch it how much is being eroded off these soft soil walls. And that's going downstream. Just looking at this this erosion that is really in the past dozen years has eroded this down, and these you can see where the erosion has taken off 10 feet off the side of this creekway. It's just amazing, and it's of course knocking trees down. This particular washout and erosion is, this is all very recent in the past few days. And as you can see, the creek valley. The creek walls now are down, 12, 15 feet from where it used to be, and that's just all that erosion, all that soil. We know where it's going. It's going down and burying our culverts. What is quite remarkable is to look at this valley coming down from Gloucester Drive and see how much erosion has occurred and how high the walls of this creek are now. And we're at a point where this runoff from Gloucester Drive is joining up with what comes from the escarpment. And what comes from the escarpment is really pretty moderate as compared to what comes out of Gloucester Drive. The erosion comes out of Gloucester Drive is where the sediment is really coming down from. At creek level, where the creekway is a dozen feet, 15 feet wide, you can see where this sediment is first of all eroding the walls as it makes the turn and depositing soil erosion that's come from upstream, and it'll be washed down later on. The effects of all of this years of erosion, high water flows, are just so damaging to the forest. They're knocking down the trees, besides taking tons of soil downstream, burying the